This is where I keep a collection of all sorts of interesting things, all small things, things I've been given, things that have been left to me, things that I've picked up off the street, things that I've found in junk shops. It's an amazing thing to me, and I hope it will be to you, because I'm going to take you on a little tour around the cabinet of curiosities. We'll start at the top shelf. As you can see, I've backed the cabinet in old manuscript, which actually gives it a really nice feel. I love it. So we've got some old teacups, which I used to collect. We have these corks. Now all these corks have a meaning. They're all dated. They've all got a 50p stuck in them. They're from champagne that was drunk on a certain occasion. I've got them for children's birthdays, New Year's. It's something my nana used to do. It was a good luck thing. I don't know anybody else who does it, but it's what I've always done. So I've got a little collection of those. Then you're gonna love this. These were my grandfather's. Now, if you look closely, you'll find they're a little bit rude. It's hilarious. I swear he didn't even know he had them. Well, if he did, well, I didn't know my grandfather as well as I thought I did. But look at them. They are hilarious. We always laugh when we see them. Rude sake cups. Yes. Behind that, we have two glasses. These are the glasses that my nana used to make snowballs in at Christmas. And then we have a Japanese fan. My dad brought this back from Japan when he was doing national service. It's a beautiful fan. It's a bit broken now, but it's very delicate, made of silk. Okay. Funny little ornaments that were my mum's, very popular in the 50s. Then we go down to the next one. We have loads of cotton reels, which were my nana's, real lovely old cotton reels, and a pair of beautiful 1920s champagne coupes, which are crystal, and you can tell that because of the way they ring. This was my nana's, not my nana's, this was my mum's. Beautiful little pot. I just used to love that on my dressing table when I was a little girl. Now, these dolls freak most people out. They were my mother-in-law's. They're very old, with human hair, made of porcelain. Don't know what to say about those, really. They're a bit freaky, aren't they? That's an old WI teacup that an old lady gave me many years ago. A pot with my name on it. Here we have some tiny little Beatrix Potter books. They're absolutely weeny. Look at them. And a little tiny pair of teddy bear specs that I found. I can't remember where. Then there's a lovely old, very old book on needlework that a lovely friend gave me. I love it when friends do that. They know me so well. What else have we got? Let's go down here. Another little teacup. I was given loads of little things like that when I was a child. This was my Uncle Dick's old telescope. Telescope, what's it called? Can't remember what it's called now. You know what I mean. That's a box that my grandfather made. Some old sat gramophone needles. There's some playing cards, which are Hovis playing cards. Of course, it's Hovis Hill, round the corner. More little ceramic teacups. This is interesting. When we moved to this house, friends of ours had found this. And this is a picture looking down the hill at our house. And I've looked on the back. We couldn't find at first because of the stamp being taken off. We couldn't sort of work out what the date was, but then I looked at it closer earlier. And I reckon that's August 14. I reckon that's August 1914. And someone's been on holiday down here. And our friends found that online. Gave it to us when we moved in. Oh, so sweet, so touching. Various other things. That was a goose egg from one of my geese. Duck. It's a duck egg. I never had geese. Duck egg. And another lovely friend blew the egg and painted on it. Beautiful. Various things. Next shelf. a little tiny ceramic enamel plate that another lovely friend got for me and found for me in France. Various bits that my son dug up in the grounds of his cottage as he was renovating. A little mini. I used to have a mini like that. That's why I have that. This is special. This was on our Christmas cake every year that my mum used to make. And during the year, even when it wasn't Christmas, I would sneak into the pantry and I'd go and find this because the bottom of it always tasted of icing. It was always sweet, and I bet you now, if I licked it now, it would be sweet. I'm not going to do that, but I bet it would. Let's put old Father Christmas back there. Right, what else have we got? Various things. This is another box made by my grandfather, and it's actually got, in little envelopes, my children's first teeth in there. I won't show you that. Again, it's quite disgusting. Quite macabre, this cupboard, actually. Oh, that's the WI cup, not the one up the top. The one up the top isn't. This one is. This is the WI cup. Duh. Full of keys. I've got a thing about keys. I'm always collecting keys. I don't know what it is. Something. This, we think, was from my husband's family. This little watch, little pocket watch. It's absolutely beautiful. Silver pocket watch. There we have a pair of old 1950s sunglasses, which I found in a junk shop. I wore them for a while, actually. I used to dress up pretty 50s, 40s, quite a lot. And I wore them. More old glasses. That is a Russian doll, but it's not Russian. It's from Kazakhstan. We've been to Kazakhstan. That's another story. Won't go into that one now either. We've got a little mermaid there from Cornwall, sitting in a deck chair, as you do. Excuse the fairy lights that are in there. Some old lead garden tools, again, that I picked up from some junk shop or other. I don't know. Bottom shelf, nearly there, everyone. You're doing well. Medals belonging to my husband's family. Then I've got a thing about little tiny music boxes. This one, I won't do it, but this one plays Londonderry Air. That's Danny Boy, to those who don't know that otherwise. Various photographs of my husband's family. More keys. These buttons I found in the shed when we moved here. There was an old Singer treadle frame, Singer sewing machine frame, up in the undergrowth, right at the top of the garden where it was all overgrown. So I realised that someone here had been a seamstress. And when I investigated the old brick shed, I found all sorts of haberdashery, sewing stuff, sewing machine bits. And these buttons were in a little old pot. And I just thought, you know, there's something special about those. These live here, so they went into the cabinet. Tiny little cups and saucers. And that there is a little felt pair of mice that was made for my husband and I when we got married by a little old lady who used to make everything out. She used to make all creatures. She made all the Beatrix Potter characters. She toured around the country with them, actually. But whenever she knew people getting married, she would always ask what they were going to wear. And she would make little tiny mice out of them as a keepsake. And it's brilliant. It's just right. It's just as I was, except for the ears and the furry face. That's what happens now, not then. Another pot that was dug up in my son's garden, and more cotton reels. Well, you know, basically, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tour around the Cabinet of Curiosities. I like to show children when they come, particularly.
Well, I could do with some cake after that. So let's go for carrot, shall we? We've got carrots, eggs, spices, flour, soft brown sugar, walnuts, golden syrup, bicarbonate of soda and vegetable oil. I'll write it all down in the description for you. First things first, you want to line a 9-inch tin with some baking parchment which you've run under some cold water and scrunched up. It really is a good tip, this. You'll fit any tin. if you do this. Scrunch it, wrap it. Okay, vegetable oil, sugar and golden syrup all get mashed up together. Who doesn't love carrot cake? So once all that's mushed up together, add into a bowl the flour, the eggs, and the bicarbonate of soda and spices. Follow it with the gloop, and then just incorporate it. And once that's roughly together, the carrots go in. So healthy, such a healthy cake. Look at that, carrots, walnuts, couldn't be healthier. And then just combine it all. That goes into your tin, which then goes into an oven at 165 to 170, depending on how fierce your oven is, for 1 hour. It's ready when it's springy in the middle. Leave to cool. Then it's time to make the delicious cream cheese icing. Salted butter, icing sugar and cream cheese. 160 grams of each, because that's how much there is in a tub of Philadelphia. And I always use equal quantities of the three. A little splash of vanilla essence just for flavour. You can put zest of orange in this for carrot cake, which is delicious. So your softened butter goes into a mixer with a whisk attachment, and whisk the butter on its own until it starts to really break down and become creamy and pale. Then the icing sugar goes in. Oh, there is no way of stopping this cloud business with icing sugar. Honestly, I always do this. The whole kitchen is covered whenever I make one of these icings. Whenever I use icing sugar. Take it steady here. And let that gently incorporate. Otherwise you really will cover the kitchen. And look, remember that when you were a child, sucking the air when your mum did this and had icing sugar flying around the kitchen? Right, speed her up. I've added a tablespoon of boiling water in there as well. That's a really good tip too. If you want to make any kind of buttercream, always add a little bit of boiling water. Scrape it down. Make sure you've got all that icing sugar in. And then you're going to let this whisk for about 4 minutes. It's going to get really pale, really light, really fluffy. Oh, there goes the vanilla. I'd obviously forgotten it before. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to fold the Philadelphia in really carefully, because it will curdle if you're not careful. You can only use full fat Philadelphia for this. Low fat stuff is horrendous and it's got too much water in it and it will definitely curdle. Fold, fold, fold. Just look at that. Couldn't you put your spoon in there? Yes. I use this on most of my cakes because everybody loves it. And then just dollop it on top of that cooled cake. This is a nice thick amount I've put on here. Oh dear, what a terrible shame. Smooth it down. Time for a cup of tea. My choice here is red bush tea. And a piece of this lovely, soft, homemade carrot cake with a light cream cheese topping. Right, I'm going in. Yummy? Yes, very yummy. I think you should make this. I definitely do.